Hey there, welcome to the NOWDEMY video tutorial series. In this video tutorial series of PHP, we will discuss two topics. The first one is session and the second one is cookies. We will create sessions and we will destroy this session with functions, and we will delete and create some cookies with some code examples. So first of all, let's see what are sessions exactly. A session is a way to store information and variables to be used across multiple pages. Unlike a cookie, the information is not stored on the user's computer. Actually, when you work with an application, you open it, do some changes, and then you close it. This is much like a session. The computer knows who you are. It knows when you start the application and when you end. But on the internet, there is one problem. The web server does not know who you are or what you do, because the HTTP address doesn't maintain state. So session variables solve these problems by storing user information to be used across multiple pages like username, user password, user ID, favorite color, and etc. By default, session variables last until the user closes the browser. So session variables hold information about one single user and are available to all pages in one application and can be accessible by anywhere in this application. So how do we do code for session? First of all, we will need to start a session. Uh, Here is the script for a PHP, because PHP is a server-side scripting language. We will start session with session start function, and there I will create a session variable with session global variable session called session, and inside quotations, string quotations, I will name this session variable like user equals to NOWDEMY. Alright, and when I will echo this variable header, um, I will concat this variable with the string, and I will call the session variable session, and what my variable name is user. So what is the expected output is, let's see, go to the browser and type localhost slash, choose my folder name slash my file name is session.php. Hey there, I'm NOWDEMY. This is the expected output, and so this is what we are going with. This is the predefined function of to start the session, and this is the global variable. In order to create session variable, this is a variable name, and this is the value stored inside this variable. And here we have displayed this variable with some string, and we concatenated this string with this session variable and have outputted to the browser. So this was the so simple example of a variable, a session variable. Let's see more examples of session variables. I will take another page, another file, and we'll see that how can we access these session variables globally by how these are accessible by another page in one application. So I will save this page and will name this get variable something get var. I will start the scripting, and I will start session also here, because without session variable will not work. Start. Okay, so I want to say that I want to see if a variable is set to a particular variable, and so it will display a message. Otherwise it will say that there is no variable. So how do we do this? I will say if Is set as a function. I will discuss this function in another video session. My variable name is user. Hi, welcome. Variable name, I will concat this with variable name underscore session. Variable name is user, and I will say that you are logged in. This is the example of login and logout system. You are logged in. But what happens if this variable is not set to the session? So I will say that if not set, then echo you are logged out. So this is a simple example of session creation and deletion. I will do this with the form example. I will create a button for this purpose, body element, and I will create a form. Method will be post because by default method PHP form method by default is set to get. So I want to set it to the post method, and I will create a form button. Submit. I will name it logout, and value equals to logout also. So this is a simple example of a logout system. I will say that if a button is set to this name, this logout name, this button name, then it will log out and destroy this session. If is set, our create a post method, post in start square brackets, single quotations, and what my post variable button name is logout. Call this. Oops, I'm outside of this script. Now this is okay. So what I will do, if this is set to this logout button, I will destroy the session. Our session destroy function. So what actually we have done over here, we have started a session, and we simply check here that if session variable is available, then say hi welcome, you are logged in. If not, there is no user variable of session, then they will say that you are logged out. And if this button is clicked, or if this user is logged in and this button is clicked, then it will destroy this session user variable and will echo the message that you are logged out. This is a simple example of login and logout system like Facebook or any Gmail account. When we click on the logout button, it displays that you are logged out or please log into the account. And if we are logged in and the session is started and we are logged in, it will say it will welcome us, or it will display some successful messages. So let's see and go to the browser what it looks like. What are the outputs? This is the variables created, and now I will go to the get work page, my file name. Hi, welcome NOWDEMY, you are logged in, and I will create hit on this button, and I will refresh the page. Oops, you are logged out because this the session variable that was named as user and the value was NOWDEMY is now destroyed, and it cannot identify that variable. The session variable is named as user, so it says it goes to the else statement and says you are logged in. So again, if I will load the first one page where the session variable user were created, so it will says that you are welcome. So let's see and go to the again that page, that is session.php. Hey there, NOWDEMY, and now I will go again to the get var page. Hey, welcome, you are logged in. Again, I am logged in, and if I will log out this button again, that it will again say that you are logged out. Yes, this is so. This was a simple example of login and logout system of session variables, and how we have created session variables and have deleted destroyed session variable with two examples of code. Now we will look at cookies. What are cookies and where do we use it? What are the benefits of using cookies? The next topic is cookies, creating cookies. Let's see how do we create cookies, how to code for cookies. So go to the code and say, first of all, what I want to say, what I want to do. I want to create a form that will send some data to the other page by a submit button, and it will take data from a input type. So first of all, I will go and will create HTML form inside a body tag. I will call this method equals to post. This is the post method. What the hell is this? And now I will call input type text. I will name this variable username, value, not value but placeholder equals to enter username, something like. And another input will be the input type submit. Input submit name equals to send, and value equals to send data. Now this is fine, and the next thing what I want to do, I want to send this data by this form with PHP. So for this I will go to there and will say action, already define action here. Action equals to PHP script and echo server. Server is a global variable, uh, square brackets, and the PHP self function method. Self. What this function will do, this is a global variable server, and this is a PHP self variable. This will transfer, this will send my data, whatever the data is available in this form. This will send this data, store the data, and will send this data to the other page. So next is what I want to do this, I want to go to the PHP, and I want to say if if button is set to, if is set to the post method, post, and post name is send. I will create a variable username and HTML entities again post over my variable name, input type name is username. So I will set cookie now here. Sorry. Set cookie function create tag three parameters. First one is the name of the cookie, like username. This can be anything. This is the name of the cookie. The another thing is the variable, this variable value, and this variable value I want to store in this variable the name or the data given in this text box. So I will write there the username variable I've declared above, and the third variable, third one parameter is times spent. What for what time we want to stay it active. So I want to say that it should be stay active for 1 hour, 36 seconds. That means 1 hour. So I want to call header function so I can be redirected to the location I want. Location equals to get var the php. If I will save, I will input here the data, the username, and I will click on this send button. Then I will be redirected to this page, and that it will contain the username and will transfer to the data to this page. So go to the, will check if is set again. This is set to the cookie is set to the is username variable. So I will say cookie and is set to the username variable that we have created in the other page. Then what it will say, it will say that welcome or user, what the variable name contains. It contains cookie and the variable name username is set. As it will say that no user is set yet. Okay, so echo say no user is set yet. So let's see what happens. Go to the cookie, the php, enter some data, NOWDEMY, and set. User NOWDEMY is set. This is what we expected. We gave a name, we entered a name in the cookie.php and send click on the button with php self contained the variable name, the data entered in this input type and transferred to the other pages and displayed there, like Zohagul. And now user Zohagul is set. So this is what we wanted. Now another example is I want to check how many cookies are active, how many cookies are set to the browser. So what I will say, I will call the count function. I will call the count function. If count php function, if count cookie greater than 0, if there is any cookie, then say echo inside the count function actually. So user Zohagul is set and there are three variables of cookie are set. So let's see what are these variables. We can check cookies that are saved in our browser from here. Click on this icon and click on these cookies and click here if you want to see what are cookies and which cookies are stored in your browser. This is the user, and there is the detail of this user. John Doe username is user, and the content is user John Doe, and this is the local house, the location, any kind, and this is a created date, and this is the expiration date we have used in our function. This is the another variable created by me. The variable name is username, and the content was Zohagul that I've stored from the input, and this is the location, the folder name, and this was the day I have created, and this was the spend time, expiration time that I have given in the function. So this was the simply example. If we can delete these cookies also from there, and we can delete these cookies also by a function set cookie. Again, variable name is user. If I want to create another variable, user comma, the variable name is NOWDEMY now, comma, and the time span for what time, for how long I want to stay it active. Again, I want to stay it active for 1 hour. So let's see what is the output. I will comment this also. Echo cookie variable name is user. Now tell me, this is the my newly created variable name. Now I want to delete this cookie. I will copy this line because the deletion of cookie is put same, not so much different. I will put minus here in order to delete this cookie. I will refresh the browser. Rondo, and now the previously created variables are displaying here. I want to check if my created variable is set. So if it should print that variable now demi is set. If not, that it should say another variable like John Doe, like we have saw on the browser. So if cookie is a cookie function, and the cookie name is user, echo user is what is the cookie, user is this should print NOWDEMY. If not NOWDEMY, it should print that echo another variable or another user. Sorry. User is John Doe because our variable, our user NOWDEMY is been deleted from here. This is, if I comment this line, it will again say NOWDEMY, NOWDEMY, and now user is NOWDEMY because I've deleted that variable before. So the output was user was NOWDEMY. Oh, sorry, John Doe. So this was a simple this was the simple example of creating variables. I will create another very example of deleting and creating cookies by array, list of array. I will say if user I will create a list of array. Associative arrays are arrays that use named keys that you assign to them. There are two ways to create create associative array. Create an associative array. Zoha. I will name this name equals to Zoha or NOWDEMY, comma, and age is equals to 2, comma, and email equals to NOWDEMY. Write something. Comma. Oh, okay, this is enough. So I've created a list of associative array. Now I want to serialize this. User equals to serialize, because it will throw an error. What I want to serialize, I want to serialize this array, associative array. Now I will create, I will set this cookie. User variable name, and the time spent again, time I want to set for a 1 hour. Now I want to unserialize this because if I don't serialize this variable, it will throw an exception, an error. It will says that the set cookie variable, the set cookie function only accepts strings, but we have set here the array list, the associative array list. So we had to serialize this variable first, and we pass this variable by this cookie. If once this variable is passed by this cookie, now we want to unserialize this variable user, and I will print this variable now by print r function. Put user variable inside this print r function. Go to the browser and check result. Here is the associative array called by set cookie function. The name variable contains Zoha, and the age contains number of age, and email contains email. This was the example of cookie by an array and a type of associative array. In this lecture, we have covered both of these topics. I hope this makes sense to you. You have covered this both of the topics clearly. Thanks for watching this tutorial. We will hope to see you again in the next lectures.